Please subscribe to our YouTube channel. Calling Whalen.
Hi, we are here in the building and we are getting ready to start cataloging the antique tool collection of the late Dave Jeffers in Grand Rapids, Ohio.
Yep.
He was a nationwide known collector. Part of there was a handful of his antique tools that were sent to the Brown auction out in Harrisburg, Pennsylvania. That auction is going to be coming up in
end of October.
End of October. So make sure to watch the Brown auction. But we have a massive amount and some high quality tools here. One of Dave's friend is a good friend of his and also into the Tool Collecting Association is Mike Jenkins. He's an expert when it comes to antique tools. He's been around it his whole life. He was a great friend of Dave's, and he said, when you come time to catalog it, I'm happy to come out and help you guys inventory it and things like that. So
yep.
Thanks Mike, and you're from Kent, Ohio, longtime collector. You started how long, how many years ago?
Too many, 40 plus.
40 plus years, and
yeah.
You've been around all across the nation. And I know you've been here before to antique tool auctions, and for somebody that does not know, do you know the highest priced antique tool ever sold?
Yes, it was a presentation ivory plane for $114,400.
$114,400 for a plow plane. There are plow planes in here, but not that one. Not that one.
None of them worth that much.
Right. So we're gonna walk around. There's some really interesting stuff here, and Mike is gonna actually help us explain this. And I'll just do a quick kind of gather back here. There's some treadle tools back there, some lathes, and just some really interesting things here.
Dave was a fantastically varied collector. He collected planes, he collected hammers, saws, draw knives, miniature anvils. There wasn't any category that I'm familiar with that Dave didn't have some examples, and a lot of them are here. Mm-hmm. We've got a lot of box lots. There's just so much to sell.
Right.
But we've got some good Stanley. We've got a nice, very desirable Stanley #1 plane.
Stanley #1 and
Stanley #1 plane is it's a #1 size, about 5 3/4 inches long. Just cute as all get out.
And here's some levels that these would measure degrees. That's just something that
That's called an inclinometer because it can indicate the incline.
We have wrenches, so one side is standard, the other side is metric.
Not necessarily.
No.
This is adjustable.
Right. Yeah. Well,
we've got on the back wall here a couple of nice workbenches. We've got a cone anvil.
That's that long thing right there, cone anvil.
The tall thing that looks like the top of a dunce's cap.
Mm-hmm.
We've got two great lathes over here. Jason, can we come over and look?
Yeah, let's look at the lathes there for a minute. But look at the brass on there, and just very, very ornate. Now, how old are these?
I would guess this is probably early 1900s. It could be late 1800s.
Mm-hmm. And then this one here, this is original stenciling on this.
Yes, this is probably 1880. This is probably newer, but it's a Swiss watchmaker's lathe with accoutrements.
Okay.
These are called collets.
They go on the other end.
They go in the end and they hold whatever it is you want to turn.
Right.
And
what are those long things that I think you were explaining those yesterday? Is that part of those for
those long things?
They're in the box.
Down here.
Yeah.
These are prosthesis carving tools. They were very popular after the Civil War because so many people did not have all of their limbs, and they had to have prostheses carved, and those were the tools to do that.
So that's a guy, if they had a wooden leg, they carved the wooden leg out of those tools.
Out of the stump.
Right. And so this is like a Civil War doctor's kit right here.
No.
No. It's just, yeah.
This is a nice example of an early back saw.
Things like this shape here, that would be a coffin block.
Yeah.
These are just, there's a
Plow plane.
plow plane there.
Dave had, I don't know how many plow planes Dave had, maybe 150, maybe 200. He was a plow plane collector.
These things here are called travelers. They have measurements on the side. Blacksmiths would use them, and they measure like circumferences, like on a wagon wheel, for an example, like something like
When
that.
you put the tire on the wheel, you had to make sure that the length of the tire was exactly right to go around the circumference of the wheel. And that was,
And that's how they did it.
yes.
So these are the things that our forefathers used, and nothing was electric. However, everything in here is cordless, and it's considered green energy. Monkey wrenches, there's certain dividers, and these are scribes.
Marking gauges.
Marking gauges.
Nice molding planes. Very complicated. Before we had shapers, we had to make moldings by hand.
Yep, and it would cut that contour just a little bit at a time. And then there's some little hand vices.
Plumb bobs. Saws galore. Draw knives galore. Draw knives was what Dave started with.
And Dave was an avid, there's a whole nother back room here that we'll do a walkthrough. He was an avid hammer collector, all different types of hammer. How many hammers did he have?
1,400.
1,400 hammers. Wait till we see back here. But that was, yeah, everybody collects something.
Everybody collects something. Dave collected everything.
Right, right.
This is a pretty special plane, Jay. Ivory tipped, rosewood, center wheel.
And this, it does one adjustment on the center wheel to bring it
The
out.
center wheel, it was an attempt to keep the fence parallel with the body.
Okay.
It's got a complete set of blades with it.
There's a hammer there with a squirrel on it. And yeah, and Dave actually posted a lot of stuff what it was.
This is called a bill poster's hammer. If you wanted to advertise a circus, you could go up and you could tap this on the top of a utility pole.
Okay.
It's designed so that the tack fits here. So you slip a tack in, you slip the poster in this clip here, and so you tap it,
Okay.
and then tap it in.
Okay.
And this is a 3-section, which is pretty scarce.
Right.
And then he's got a 2-section here, and then someplace else we've got a 1-section.
So they do break down it
Yes.
years ago. And then some familiar, for those of you that are not familiar, but Winchester made guns, but they also made. Well, we want to say thanks to Mike. Mike's got to get back to work, but I'll finish walking around here, part of the 2-day sale. So this is going to be 2 days. It's going to be Wednesday, October 9th, and it's going to be starting at 4 o'clock. And then on the 10th, and that'll be to a live auction only. That's only a live crowd. So if you're traveling out of town, you can show up. You have all day to travel. Be here for that night of the auction. Then on the 10th, we start in the morning. And that is going to be internet bidding and live auction here at our facility. And here is what we have to do yet. This is all has to be gone through, separated, cataloged. That's through the back. And there are just a massive amount of things here, all different types of hammers. And there is actually how Dave displayed some of his 1,400 hammers that he actually had at one time. And then, well, throughout his course of the collection. But there is all the planes here. There's more hammers that are right back over there, which we'll get to. And yeah, there's going to be something here for everyone. There's even advertising, little oil cans, different levels, and braces. And then these are draw knives that woodworkers were used. And here's how, again, that's how he displayed his hammers. When we moved everything, we just picked up the whole wood thing and all. You know, another note that we always like to express in the auction business, we are always planning on the season ahead. So in the summer months, we are always thinking our minds are in the fall of the year. So when you're in the winter months, your mind is up to the spring of the year. When you're in the spring, you're planning for summer. So this auction is going to be held in October, And here it is, August 1st, and we are here prepping and getting ready for all this. And that's the amount of time it takes to catalog. We have to send invitations out to the party, which is a flyer, get things out where people can find them, let them hang out there in cyberspace for quite a while. And then again, here's a whole collection of different plow planes, and it even keeps going out here. And here's some more box lots that we're putting together, some different anvils. And then all of this through here. And more of a level collection. So be sure to check it out. Follow us on Facebook. Follow us on this YouTube channel, now calling Whalen, and we're going to bring more updates to it. But remember, watch every auction at whalenauction.com. Be sure to watch for the posts, updates, and photos when these catalogs come out.
Please subscribe to our YouTube channel, Calling Whalen.